School is the most important thing in your life. And while I hate school, I got a PhD. And I hate school. I hate everything about it. So somebody say, E, if you hate school so much, why you get a PhD? Because I hate school, but I love options. You can have average skill, but you can't have average will. You can't have average will. Like your will has to be phenomenal. You have to see basketball as the gateway. It's like a passport. Basketball is just your way to get in, and then once you get in, boom, then you dominate. So I'm telling you, you're not taking a test because they're giving you the test. You're taking a test that's about to change your life, your mama's life. And I know if you take the test serious, you'll kill it. When you go through your go-through, your siblings are watching you. When you go through your go-through, your friends are watching you. When you go through your go-through, your parents are watching you. And people will use your strength to get through their stuff.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, E.T. Look, y'all, I'm so excited to be with y'all, man. I'm telling you. I wish I could, man. I wish I could. Can y'all write? All right. Okay, I'm sure it's a link or something somewhere, y'all. Put that link up for me where they can write us. But man, I'd be interested in just knowing who you are. You know, like you're in 8th grade, you're in the 5th grade, you know, you from Detroit, you from Chicago, you from Dallas, you from Memphis, you from Houston, you from LA, you from Crenshaw, you from Hollywood, you from Miami, you from Oklahoma, North Dakota, South Dakota, you might be from Canada, the Netherlands, maybe you from Australia. Like, man, I'd love to know who you are. I'd love to know, not just what you're getting, but what you need. Like, talk about this, talk about that. I struggle with this, man. I like to hear how summer's going for you. I told y'all, we got prizes for y'all, right? Some giveaways. So you got to be active. You got to be involved. Send a pic, let us know who you are. Send a video. We might start putting some of the videos up of some of the things that you guys are accomplishing or you're doing. Yeah. Let's do that, y'all. Let's do that. Some of our young folk out there, let's put up some videos and show our young people some love. But look, I'm so proud that you're sitting in front of your phone or computer or TV, however you're getting down. You might just be listening to it. I'm so proud of you, because you're making a decision, and you're making a decision. You don't have to do this, and I mean that, but some of you, your parents might, be making you do it. All right, well, whatever. All right, but you still don't have to do it, and so you made a decision to be obedient to your parent. So I just want to shout you out, man. I just want to let you know I'm proud of you. I'm so grateful that you're making the type of decisions that's gonna make this a phenomenal summer. As most of you probably know, I'm originally from Chicago. Spent a lot of my summers in Chicago as a college student, most of my holidays in Chicago. Most of my family, my father's side, everybody's from Chicago. My mother's side, it's a split, some Chicago, some Detroit. And man, Chicago summers, man, a lot of young people, lose their lives, gun violence, gang violence, a lot of unfortunately, right person, wrong place, and so, man, I'm so glad you're alive. I'm so glad you care about your life. I'm so glad you invested in your life. I'm so glad that you have a family, whether you're a foster child, whether you are a stepchild, mixed marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like mixed family, blended family, whatever. You are alive and you have options. You have a choice. You have a future, and I'm so grateful you're pouring into that future. All right, so it's your boy ET. Man, I got something for you today. My friends have something for you today, and I want to talk to you about a topic that's, man, dear to my heart. That I hope you're on the right side of. You're not on the wrong side of. But it's something called self-sabotage. Remember, I'm talking about being a boss, and the opposite of being a boss is a person who is not disciplining themselves. Most of you have read my books or you have The Secret to Success specifically. I talk about in that book, figuring out that my biological father, I didn't, the person that was raising me wasn't my biological father. And I talk about, when that happened, how I responded to it. So I want to talk about 4 things for you today. All right. And I want you to stop self-sabotaging. So here's what I mean by that. Most of you know, man, for years, my favorite tennis players are Venus and Serena. right? And if you notice Serena, in some of her matches, I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like she beat herself. It's very few people that could beat Serena, just flat out. But she might have had, like unforced errors. I'm not the GOAT in tennis. You know what I'm saying? I don't play tennis, so I'm not 100% sure how that happens. But she might have a double fault, you know what I'm saying, hit the net twice, you know what I'm saying, didn't get the ball, shouldn't serve it on the other side properly, right? Anything, hit the ball too hard, whatever, right? And it's called unforced errors. And it just mean that that other person ain't necessarily sweeter than you. That other person, isn't superior to you. You just made an error, right? On your own. And we do that a lot. Now, it might be tennis for some, basketball, baseball, but for me, it was life. And I made a lot of unforced errors. All right. So when I found out that the person that was raising me wasn't my biological father, the first thing I did was I responded negatively, and y'all got to help me. That's an unforced error. And so, look, if you know how to play video games, right? If you know how to play video games, you know how to TikTok. If you know how to, I'm just being real. If you're mature enough to do those things, you're mature enough to look at stuff from a positive lens. You're mature enough not to always look at everything from a negative standpoint, right? So that's number one. I should have looked at the positives. I got food, I got clothes, I'm going to school. I got three grandmamas, doggone it. Most kids only got two. I got three grandmas, which means three grandmas gonna bless me for Christmas. Three grandmas gonna bless me for my birthday. Like I got three grandmas. Like that, instead of looking at it as a negative, I could look at that as a positive, right? So that's number one. Stop looking at everything from a negative standpoint. Number two, stop playing the blame game. All right. Take responsibility, take ownership. I'm telling y'all, I see grown folk who miss out on opportunities, grown folk who miss out, on job opportunities, money opportunities, vacation opportunities, friendship opportunities. Why? Because they play the blame game. Everything was always somebody else's fault. The reason why I didn't do well in school was because my daddy went in my life. The reason why, I started sports and never finished because my mama did. The reason why I didn't do good on tests because my mama did, or I grew up in and I did. It was always somebody else's fault. So number two, do me a favor, take ownership. Flat out. CJ always say, "Hey, E, bro, why you be taking ownership sometime when it ain't even just your fault? It's their fault too." I'm like, yo, see, because I want complete control. I want to be able to change this thing. I want to be able to fix it. Like I want to be able to get on the other side of this thing. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? So number one, don't that negative into a positive, right? Take that negative into a positive. Number two, leave that blame game alone. All right. Number three, and this is the biggest one, man, for me. You walk away from something, like don't burn bridges, right? Don't. That's how you self-sabotage. Like I'm just being real. You don't know who you gonna need. You don't know who you gonna need. The same people that you disrespect today are the same people you're gonna need tomorrow. Those teachers that you disrespect, look, walk away smoothly. I tell my daughter this all the time, baby girl, don't take an axe to paper. You take an axe to a tree, flat out. You take an axe to a tree. Like I know you didn't get the grade you wanted. I feel you, 100, 100. But at the end of the day, if you have a slight chance of that professor switching your grade, it won't be with you going off. It won't, I promise you, it won't be with you going off. I promise you, it won't be with you writing a nasty little note. I promise you it won't. I promise you, you can get more bees with honey than you can with, yeah, that's what my grandma used to say. Yeah, you can get way more bees with honey than you can with absolutely. Walk away smoothly. And your boy ET, I didn't walk away smoothly. I'm cussing folk out. I ain't even used to cuss. I'm cussing my mom out. I'm threatening my father who raised me. I'll kill you if I see you. If I ever see you on the west side of Detroit with me and my boy, I'll kill you. I'll take your life. Talking stupid, reckless, dumb. Stuff, saying stuff I can't get back. Talking to people who raised me. Talking to people when I was sick who healed. Talking to people who took me to the hospital. Talking to me people who went to work and had insurance to take care of me. Talking to people that helped me with their homework. Talking to me with my homework. Talking to people who fed me, who clothed me, who put a roof. Talking reckless. Reckless. Because I was in my feelings, because I was hurt. Watch who you talk to. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Walk away smoothly. Because the person you dog out today, you cuss out today, you go off on today, you might need that person tomorrow. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so it's your boy ET. No self-sabotage. Let's try to work on those unforced errors, right? Because for all of us, we could have had another championship, right? We could have had a positive memory. For all of us, had we walked away smoothly, had we not self-sabotaged, had we not blamed other people, had we not taken a situation. Yeah, can I be real? If you're looking for something negative, you're gonna always, if you're looking to go off, it's always something to go off about. If you're looking to be positive, if you're looking to build bridges, if you're looking to connect with other connectors, if you're looking to attract great, phenomenal, the opportunities are always there. But if you're looking for negative, it's always going to be there. All right. So it's your boy ET. Don't self-sabotage. Right? Don't self-sabotage. If something's going to go wrong, let it go wrong because Murphy's Law. Let it go wrong because it wasn't meant to happen. Let it go wrong because it's not time yet. Let it go wrong because of external circumstances. Don't let it go wrong. Don't let it go wrong because of what you've done. All right. Hey, it's your boy ET. Get ready for ET and Friends, where we're going to elaborate on this concept, take it to a whole nother level, and give you some nuggets to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Remember, small steps, great distances. Now you know. Let's go.
Welcome to Free Summer School. Knowledge is the new money. Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. He's bringing this to you with just everybody that is here, the crew of all-stars. Today we want to talk about self-sabotaging behavior. How do you do this? How do you even recognize it? Because a lot of people don't even know that they're doing it, and then they're looking up and they're looking at the results like, man, I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah, bro. Let me tell you something. I don't even want to talk about this. I'm sick. I'm sick of the stomach. I'm sick of the stomach even like hearing this. I wasted I wasted a large portion of my life trying to get back at my mom. You know, I wasted a large portion of my life, bro. Like pissed at my mom for not telling me who my biological father was. And I don't know, I guess I thought by hurting her, I was gonna hurt her. But in actuality, by trying to hurt her, I hurt myself, you know. And bruh, I'm just like, man, if there's one message, I know we're gonna do a lot of them over the course of this whole summer, but if there's one message that I think is the most important one, it's like, yo, stop hurting yourself, calling yourself hurting other people. You know, like stop. So self-sabotage is, you know, something go wrong. You know, it's real. Stuff goes wrong, right? It went wrong. My mom got pregnant at 17. It went wrong outside of marriage. Like she didn't plan for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't Planned Parenthood. You feel what I'm saying? Like her and my father, you know, weren't in some 5-6 year relationship, you know? But I turned a bad thing into a nightmare, you know? And here's the crazy part. We talked, you know, in one of our sessions, depending on, you know, some kids may be watching in the order, they may not. But we talked about focus, and we talked about, you know, this sustainability, like you're doing something every day. Now we talked about it in the positive. I was trying to hurt my mom, and I was focused, and I was doing it for years. I did it for years, and so I dealt with the consequences of it for years. And when I was able to, here's the part that I want kids to hear. When I finally recognized that I was self-sabotaging and that it was wrong, bro, it was hard to cut off. It's like a faucet where the knob breaks off, you know, and it's water everywhere. It was disaster in my life everywhere, you know, and so I couldn't read on the level that I was supposed to read. Why? I stopped reading and writing. I stopped going to school. I was like, yo, what does my mom love the most? And my mom was a reader. My mom loved school. So I was like, yo, I know the best way to hurt her is to not do well in school, you know? And I paid the price for it, you know, even as an adult right now, you know, certain things that should come easy to me academically don't. Why? Not because I'm dumb, but I stopped. I never practiced reading. You know, as soon as I left the crib, bro, I was like, man, I'll never read another book, you know. So phonetically, you know, challenged, you know. So I would just say to kids, like, I get it. Your mom might have done some stuff. Your old dude might not be in your life. He might have gone to jail on you. He might not like your lifestyle. So you call yourself listen to me. The only person you hurt is yourself. That's the only person. You know what I'm saying? Like I was homeless, y'all. I was living in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans. My mom lived in a house. My biological father, wherever my man was, I didn't know who he was, where he was, but he lived in a house. You know what I'm saying? He had a job. My mom had a job. The only person that really got beat in the whole situation was myself. So even when you mad at somebody else, pretend like you not, just so you could take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the most important person. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, self-sabotage is you take a bad situation, and instead of looking at the positive of that bad situation, you look at the negative, and then you start doing negative stuff, and you wake up a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, and you like, man, what have I done? You know, so yeah, I tell kids, yeah, do the right thing. You know, even when you don't feel like doing the right thing, even when you don't think you have a reason for doing the right thing, just do the right thing. Because one day you might wake up and be like, yo, I'm ready to live life. And now you're not in a 20-foot hole. You know, at least you on level ground, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Coach B, what do you have to say? Self-sabotaging behavior.
Self-sabotage.
Man, I think E just said it. He said, you are the most important person. You are, not anybody else. You are the most important person. And, you know, one of my degrees is in psychology, and something that we've learned from so many psychological studies is that human beings, man, we're motivated to adhere to our identity. We want to reinforce that vision that we have of ourselves. And so if I think of myself as somebody that, you know, no matter what I do, I'm just not good at school. If that's how I see myself, that's what I'm going to do. That's what's going to happen. I'll find a way to fail a test if that's how I see myself. Even if I have all the ability, even if I've studied, if I see myself, if I have an identity as somebody that school just isn't for me, I'll find a way to self-sabotage. And so I think the key thing is you will never outperform your own expectations. You're not going to outperform your own expectations of yourself. So you have to start developing a relationship with you where you see yourself as somebody successful. You see yourself as somebody who accomplishes your goals. You see yourself as somebody who can execute at a high level. And to me, the easiest way to do that is keep the promises that you make to yourself. So if you say you're going to study for 2 hours, study for 2 hours. Right? If you say that you're going to accomplish something, then you do everything in your power to do that. And you start to respect yourself that way. And you start to see yourself as somebody who can accomplish those goals. And you'll start to notice those self-sabotaging behaviors just slowly disappear.
Auntie Val, let's go to you.
For me, it's holding on to the last. And what do I mean by holding on to the last? The last win or the last loss? It doesn't matter. Because, you know, it's the movie, what is it? Love? Was it Love and Basketball?
Yeah.
And Sanaa Lathan, she shot and she was holding her wrist popped out and they was going back and the coach was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because she was so glad she made that shot. She didn't even connect that she should have been moving on. It's time to. So sometimes when you're younger, you're like, I got an A. I don't need to study for the next test. No, you need to study for the next test because life goes on. Things will happen, even if it's a loss. Like when I flunked out of college, I could have been like, I don't need to go back. But see, August 23rd, I started my doctorate to this year. So you continue, even though whether it's a win or a loss, you still got to focus on the next. Not that you can't celebrate or you can't mourn, but you need to move in the midst. Once you're done with that thing. And you got to focus. You have to, we talked about that now. We already talked about focus, but you can't self-sabotage because you're holding on to the last. Whatever that last is, whether it was a win or whether it was a loss, it doesn't matter. You got to make that move.
Wow. Oh,
Q, you
look,
ain't got the button, Q. You ain't got the button.
Right.
hold on.
When she said she was going to get her PhD, you should have. What's that clap?
I didn't want to miss it. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
Look, but look, let me add though, I'm getting my PhD because someone before me, like Dr. Eric Thomas, is in my circle. And he's telling me you could do it. And I got other people that's pushing and clapping and pushing me in the right direction. So I'm not going to self-sabotage because I'm focused now. And I have people around me that's helping me see that I can do. My past is what it is. But I'm looking at what can be done. This man right here, I'm looking at it.
That's good.
Kessler Brave. Let's get with Kessler. Kessler Brave. With that program she got.
Yes.
Let's get, you know what I'm saying? Let's get that program.
Doing the doctorates. That's our program, doing the doctorates. Let's go.
Thank you, Dr. Val, soon to be.
Speak it.
Listen, I'm gonna hop in right here. I'm gonna tell you how I used to self-sabotage myself. If I felt like I had to know everything, and if I didn't know things, I bucked back, right? I was like, ooh, I don't know that, right? I don't know how to do that. So I don't want people to look at me or make fun of me, so I won't do certain things. And that limited me for a long time in my life. I'll give you an example. My boy, I moved to LA 2007. My boy, he invites me out to play golf, right? I'll go and play golf with him. I don't know how to play. So I quit on like the 9th or 10th hole, right? So then 2011, I moved back to Philly. One of my boys says, come out and play. I'm horrible again. So then last year, during the pandemic, my friend, he invites me, hey, why don't you come out, play with us? And I'm playing with him and his son. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to quit. I'm going to sit in not knowing how to do this. I'm going to learn how to do this, because a lot of times we stick with things that we are naturally good at or naturally, and guess what? The growth isn't going to happen there. Everything that you want is going to happen outside of your comfort zone, right? So even with me playing golf, y'all know me from media. I know how to do radio, TV, but secretly, I've had a problem or an issue talking to people that I don't know, or people that don't look like me, or people that don't identify with the things I identify with. So now in the last year, I go golf. I'm in a golfing league. I'm talking to captains of industry, and I'm having great conversations and relationship with them. And I can see that I'm becoming a better communicator with all kinds of people. This is something that people didn't even know about myself, right? And when you put yourself out there, and you put yourself out there to be vulnerable and say, hey guys, I don't know how to do certain things, your world will open up. You just have to admit that you don't know how to do something and get around people that know how to do it. Absolutely. So these are the tools you will need to move forward. If you're good at English and you're like, oh, I don't mess with math. No, get with somebody who's good at math so you can bring that math up. Yeah. It's just pretty much that simple. Let's go to Charles Terry Jr. What do you have to say?
So
about self-sabotaging.
Self-sabotage. When you look at self-sabotaging, you actually consider that you are with yourself all the time. And so when you zoom out of it and look at it, it's important that we make sure that our worst enemy is not in between your two ears. And you're not just focused on what you're telling yourself. Like Val said, she said E pushed her to do the doctorate. Well, I watched E say he got his master's. In fact, Val said she got her master's. I said, well, I got this. My goal was to get through with the bachelor's. Yeah. So then I finished and I said, well, I guess I got to get the master's. He even got his master's. I got to get a master's. And before I knew it, I was accepted into the program before I even finished the bachelor's. I was like, let me just do it. Val was like, you need to apply. Let me apply. Went on there. They were like, oh, no, you're accepted. I hadn't even finished yet. And I was already in the new program. Wow. And then self-sabotage, when you tell yourself different things and you look at it, not only am I able to go back to school, but I'm paying cash for all my degrees. So there's no loans, there's none of that stuff, because now going back as an adult, I can see the value and I'm focused on the classes. Is that a clap? I hear it. I heard it lightly.
Well, a subtle clap, but
right. But what's happening is now I not only am taking classes seriously because I'm paying for them. Right. So when I'm in a class that costs $1,300, yeah, I'm going to be up late doing homework because that's my $1,300. That ain't Sally's. That's mine. And I want all of mine to count because I can't get it back. And Sally I can't get it back. So it's done. So paying cash for it is going to make me appreciate it much more. But then my goal is now I'm starting later in the game. So I don't want to get out and have to be doing student loans. I don't have time for student loans. I don't have time for that. That's some 20-year-old stuff. You got 15, 20 years to pay your student loan. I ain't got time for that. I'm going to be grown. I'm 38 this year. So paying cash for it and focusing, I'm telling myself, yes, Charles, you can do without this, that, or the other because that is school money. Or yes, you can get up early and go do this. Or yes, you can sacrifice to do that because of the big picture. So know the big picture and know your self-talk and know your manuscript, your script that you're telling yourself. Absolutely. Make sure that script is in alignment.
Students, I don't know if you're understanding who Charles Terry Jr. is, but we're learning a lot about him. He's international. He's paying a lot in cash for his education. He's stunting on us. He said, that's some 20-year-old stuff. I said, man, gonna get with you offline, Charles Terry
Let's
Jr.
talk offline.
Yeah, we gotta say the whole name.
Because we still getting loans, Q.
Right.
Listen,
You know, he paid for his house in cash. He paid everything as cash.
when you sacrifice and you do what you got to do, you get what you want to get. Because then
Yes.
when I'm done with what I want to do, the money I got ain't Sally's money. That's all my money.
Sounds
Yes,
like
sir.
where the money reside. Q is with
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it sounds like where the money reside.
I'm just trying to get my zeros. You know what I'm saying? Terica told me to get myself together.
Yes.
I need to be a millionaire. So I'm trying to get my house in order.
Terica, we coming, Terica. We
Yes.
coming.
Coming, Terica.
Well, Charles, speaking of millionaires, we have to go to Tiffany. And,
That part.
Yeah.
She has an echo in her house.
yeah.
Talking millions.
Tiff, talk to us.
Tiffany offers echo.
So I guess, my thoughts on self-sabotage, and I think I had to learn this for myself, was it's a self-analysis. Like, I think most people can recognize self-sabotage in other people because their self-sabotage is egregious. So it's like, you have that cousin, the minute they call you and tell you, I can't believe it, I got the job. I mean, you just waiting on when they call you back and say, the manager was tripping. And so I don't work there no more. Like, those people. And every time when they call you, you tell the person next to you, oh, okay, well, I wonder how long that's going to last, because you know that. But you have to also understand that if you have 2 hours to study for a test and you on social media and you take 2 calls you didn't need to take, that's also self-sabotage because that was your opportunity to do what was right and you didn't do it. So I think that the more you can learn to recognize the small ways that you self-sabotage yourself. Like, I've been wearing glasses since I was in high school. And every couple of years when I go back, they just make small corrections to make sure that my focus is perfect. And so I think you just have to recognize those small moments where you're self-sabotaging yourself and honor the word to yourself, like Coach B said, so that you can get to your goals faster and have a lot of cash like Charles.
I'm still looking for it.
Where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Speak those things as though they were.
Let's just say Charles Terry. That'll be that's the new verbiage for money. It's just
Charles Terry.
Hey,
You get Charles Terry. Let's go.
those things as though they were.
Hey, why don't we call and tell them bump Harriet Tubman? Put Charles Terry on a $20 bill.
Look, hey, here it is.
Well, listen. Tiff says something. We joking and we're having a good time, but Tiff says something really important. If you're on social media and you're supposed to be studying or doing something, put your phone. If you have an iPhone or whatever phone you have, put your phone on airport mode because leaving your phone on,
that's good.
You're allowing people. Oh, I got to pick up that phone. Oh, I got to look at that message. I got to.
That's good.
Don't turn it off. Just put it on airport. You on the airplane, and then guess what? If you put it on airplane mode, there's no reason for you. You can only go up from there.
That was smooth.
I need my sound.
Where your sound? I gotta get the sound.
That's the first thing, amen. Yeah.
That was good.
And we need to, the whining should have came in right there. Yeah, hallelujah. All right, so y'all heard it from us. Number one, it's all about you. When it comes to self-sabotage, don't try to hurt nobody. You hurting yourself. It's all about you. Hey, do me a favor. Don't mourn. Move on. Come on. You can't sit there in that spot forever. Yo, be very careful that the enemy, you not sleeping with the enemy. They say the enemy.
Right.
Make sure that voice in your head is the one that's encouraging you, motivate. You got a choice. You can talk negative to yourself. You can talk positive. It's up to you. Talk positive, to yourself. That's critical. Cut airplane mode your life.
Ooh.
You feel what I'm saying?
I need a shirt.
Download that one, Charles.
We getting a shirt.
Y'all raise your hands and download that real quick.
I forgot what was tips.
Mine was make sure it's a self-analysis of the small things you can do.
Good. Yeah. Self-assess. The ability to self-assess.
Mm-hmm.
Look, let me say this, and I know I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'll say it this way. So my wife and I had somebody do some work. They did the work. we had somebody that did work for us previously come and look at the work. And the person who did work for us previously looked at the work that the person did and was like, that wasn't a good job. And I'm like, yo, you messed up too. Like your stuff wasn't a A1. And all I explained to the person was like, yo, why is it so easy for people to see other people's stuff, but you can't see your own?
Yes.
You feel me? And again, like I ain't tripping that you can see my stuff. But the reality is you can't change nobody's stuff but your stuff. So for you to be able to recognize somebody else's stuff is whack, that's not gonna do nothing for your stuff. Yep. That's not gonna change your stuff. That's not gonna make your stuff better. So do me a favor, like don't waste time assessing other people. Like you don't get paid for that. You don't benefit from that. You do benefit though when you go AE. You're not handling your business. You need to get your GED. Then you need to get your 4-year degree. Like I benefited from each degree. Every change I make in myself, I benefit from it. I don't benefit from the changes that, even if Q asks me, E, what you think I need to change? If I tell Q, I don't benefit from that, Q and his family benefit from that. All right. Yeah. So that's the final one. Airplane mode, make your change. Now I was going to ask a favor. I know Q, you probably got that from Ivy. I ain't gonna say nothing. I know you probably got that from Ivy.
No, he didn't, Q.
A whole session where she can come on and give us more tips for social media. She could talk to us more and tell these kids. You think we can get her to get on to do that?
Absolutely. Definitely
cool.
can happen.
Yeah, cool. All right. So as always, small steps. You heard Tip. We ain't doing nothing big, y'all. Small steps. Great distances. Let's go.